What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is May 9th, 2024. It is Thursday, and I hope all of y'all have had a wonderful week so far. The weekend is just around the corner. We got TGI Fashions Friday coming tomorrow. So if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss that. Push the bell icon as well. That way you can catch it. And so much love to every single one who comes in, supports the channel, and who's been here through thick and thin since the beginning, and all the new people. So much love to you as well. We got some new Patreon members recently. So much love to every single one of y'all, guys. I want to dive into the actual Bitcoin charts, and at this point in time, it looks like there is a slight breath of life happening right now on these particular charts. Now, again, this is one of those indicators where we have talked about it so many times already, but yesterday we went over this exact same description and said, hey, usually there are 3 days of red and then 1 day of green. And where could that day of green end up going? Well, I said the high would probably be around 63,000. And sure enough, it hit 63,424. And I was thinking it was probably going to be closer to that little range or zone as well. So something I was paying attention to as I was actually checking it all out, or really 63.5, but it got 63,424. So off by just a couple of dollars. Now, at this point in time, when we have seen a day of green, it is typically followed by another day of red, if not 2 days of red. So what you can notice here, just look at the previous times where there's actually been 3 red days in a row, one green day right here, another red day followed by a slight green, and again, just downward pressure. So I do anticipate prices coming back down and testing out this, at least for the short term, Bitcoin high short MA moving average as well, which is an average of roughly about 111 days right now. So keeping that in mind, that would be breaking a little bit of structure. So I have this doing a little bit of a kind of a descending triangle right here based on how this has been going, kind of forming a little descending triangle. So I would end up seeing it come back and retesting out this range right here. So I anticipate that either by today, if not by tomorrow, that we're going to be seeing $60,000 Bitcoin again. So do not get upset whenever that does come around. For those of y'all who may be fickle and may be new to the crypto markets, that is part of the way the cookie crumbles, boys and gals. Ethereum follows so closely to Bitcoin, it is not even funny. So, of course, we did get a green day as well on this one. This is still using, while it says BTC high, think about this, it's just at 111-day MA. So we are actually bouncing below that. We didn't fully bounce off this EMA at this point in time. So I am anticipating that if we do end up going back down, first level is that $3,000. We've been bouncing in this range. It's currently $3,032, and it's most likely going to continue to probably bounce, if not below this 2984, and actually come back and test this short MA or short EMA moving average as well. So I can see that still being within the 24, 29, I mean $2,900 range. So roughly around a 3-4% dip. Nothing too crazy, but just enough to scare a few more people. Now we are seeing Ethereum want to actually go on a little bit of a bullish trend going upward. So if that is the case and it does want to maintain this channel, this parallel channel, then we really ideally wouldn't see below 3,000 and it would actually bounce off of that. But again, if we know anything about the correlation with Bitcoin and Ethereum, these suckers are super correlated right now, y'all. And I do mean super correlated. I think it's like a 95% correlation, 92% correlation, meaning that damn near every single time Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum is going up. When Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum's going down. And usually it tends to be a little bit more volatile, keeping that in mind as well. So those are just some recent items coming through. I've heard the mindset of a potential $1 million Bitcoin this cycle. Guys, if that happens, that would break so many other things. One of them being the law of diminishing returns, which essentially says that in the very beginning, when Bitcoin had its first cycle, it was roughly around a 3000x or 3900x. The next cycle was roughly around 110x. The next cycle was roughly around a 20x. The next cycle is roughly around 4x. And ideally, now we're in this cycle right now where they're thinking that if it continues to be, we wouldn't really break above a high above, like, I mean, $80,000 is kind of like where the number ends up being. Obviously, we've already got 74, so I do see that law of diminishing returns being broken. But I did want to check out one item over here, and it actually has to do with the power law correlator, which seems to be a pretty good indicator. So I want to take a look at this and say, is it even possible that we do end up seeing Bitcoin reach $1 million? And even on the high side over here for this power law model in 2025, it still has Bitcoin maxing at 380,000 even by 2026, assuming that the market ends up going longer. Because if y'all aren't familiar, we actually have been extending every single time the bull market ends up going out. So it is anticipated, if that also was to continue, that we wouldn't see the bull market top until roughly around March or February of 2026. So if we are in that range, this is still putting a number here around $533,000 on the highest of highs on that point in time. Again, we wouldn't reach the $1 million Bitcoin price at the earliest, more than likely until 2028, if not 2029. And that's if things were to be going just absolutely crazy. But this is why we let the power law model, and again, it basically is just going through and calculating all of this for us. And we've played within, yes, we've bounced out for a very small portion in time. I think this is roughly going from November all the way into December. So roughly about 1 month of it being slightly above, maybe just a couple of weeks being slightly above this power law model. Other than that, though, it's been pretty much following this exact trend right now. I think the pups are about to start playing behind me, so just enjoy some entertainment with puppies if you can, as well as we go through and talk about some of the charts. So that's what I'm seeing overall on the Bitcoin side of things right now. I would just be shocked if we happen to get that high. Now, I do see Bitcoin reaching $1 million. I just don't think it happens this cycle. So that's my 2 cents on that whole take as well. We have got a little bit of a bullish take as well. We got a little bit of breath of life happening inside the Pulse Chain ecosystem. Prices are up today at this point in time, at least in the last 24 hours. Pulse Chain's back up to 40625, a 7% increase. Pulse X is sitting at 40269, a 10% increase. Inc is sitting at $3.34, which just a couple of weeks ago, this was already at $2.50 as well. So for those individuals who did make that particular purchase right here as well, you are up already quite, I wouldn't say quite a bit at this point in time, but a good amount. You know what I mean? You done good. It's the beginning of where the market actually wants to start going. We're seeing Hex almost reach that 1 penny level again. So really would love to break past the penny level. And if you actually were to pull up the actual chart, this one too, that's where we're going to be diving into some more information on this one. So again, I wanted to take a little gander over here, take a look at the charts. I was playing around with some of these things, these little future prediction models, and seeing, if it ends up being something like this. We did, in fact, get that pump that I thought we would. Because I drew this out earlier today while I was, sitting in front of the computer thinking, cool, it looks like the market's wanting to break out. The way I actually ended up doing this was, first, if you just look at, again, this is a 15-minute chart, mind you. So I was just kind of checking some stuff out. But first, if you look at trend being your friend, we broke out of the trend right here. And from this move, we got a pretty decent breakout, right? I would say roughly around a 6%, 8% breakout right there. So I thought that was pretty smooth. Well, we actually did the same thing. And I drew a similar line. I said, what if we end up doing another breakout right now? And where could it end up going at this point in time? My goodness. Where could it end up going? So we did break out as of right here, which is roughly around a few hours ago, let's just say, because already the day just ticked over. It is a new UTC time. So a few hours ago at this point in time, we did break out. And I was thinking, where could it end up going at this point in time, being that from this price over here, again, as of just yesterday, if you had just made one of those purchases, where could you end up going? And that would be roughly around a 13% pump. Now, it says failure, but what's beautiful about it is if you actually end up drawing it out just a smidge more, we get the success. So that was a 13% pump in that span of time over that 1 day period. So that's that little breadth of life that I was mentioning. And I was seeing which way the market was going to go. If the market actually did not break out of this trend, I was actually seeing it go back down and test this level right here. So those are the two little predictions that I had earlier today, just as S's and G's play out. Now, as I was looking at this as well, keeping this in mind, again, 15-minute chart, I highly advise you get outside the 15-minute chart if you are looking at all this information. But I was seeing if we've done a similar item over here where we broke out from that, we broke out from the bottom to the local top at this point in time, or local high right here, or a higher high, should I say, then you would end up kind of mirroring that same thing if we were to break out of that resistance again. So I didn't quite get the exact. Let me actually pull that up again so we can get the exact over here. So if you were to pull out just from the breakout over here, I was just playing around with a couple of things, but it's just good to kind of see sometimes how this can all play out and, see how it all ends up working out. This is where I would see the price actually end up pumping up to, which is roughly around 4064. So not too much higher right now before the market decides it wants to do something else. We have to pay attention to this as well and just keep this in mind. But it'd be about another 2% increase over here. And again, from the actual low over here on this little market right here, it would be a nice little 16, 17% increase. That breadth of life is starting right here. You also, that's my 2 cents on where I think it's going. I do still believe, looking at the daily as well, if we were to kind of get rid of some of these other charts as well. Let me just kind of do this. If we were to actually kind of get rid of some of these other lines right here, just to kind of break it down in a different way, this is where I would see the price actually wanting to go back up. We are playing within this region, this range, and this zone. So here we are making that little W pattern, which again, nice little low down here, a higher low down here. Ideally, you would want to continue this higher high situation right here and keep that rally going. So this is that little breadth of life that we're seeing in the pulse chain ecosystem. And if it was going to do that full W system, this is the levels that I'm paying attention to. So 4066 seems to be a level of support slash resistance as well. So keeping those metrics in mind, these are items that I am paying attention to, at least in the short term future. Again, I've said my price predictions before on the channel of where I think the pulse chain ecosystem ends up going. So go check out some previous videos if you're really wanting to see some of this as well. But breaking this down again, I did the same information. I was playing around with some stuff earlier today. This is the Pulse X chart again on the 15-minute chart as well. I was doing a couple of little patterns so it actually kind of give me a little formation. And you can see when we actually were back here, let me just kind of zoom on in a image. Again, I drew this little pattern so it draw the triangle and say this is where I think the primary formations being right here. We did in fact break below that at that point in time when we couldn't hold it as support. So at that point in time, it's anticipated that the price is going to go lower, and we did in fact go lower from that point in time. Now I drew this level of support a while ago, probably about 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, for everyone to see. This is a nice support line that we've actually held for quite a bit and retested multiple times. And so we actually broke below it and quickly bounced right back above it again within the span of, we'll say, 45 minutes. And I do anticipate that, again, these are near the bottoms of where I could see things going. We then played this newer ecosystem, the newer pump, which I do a little triangle right here saying this is where the new wedge is being. And we, in fact, damn near bounced right off of that and bounced off it as well. So these are the bullish signs that you're talking about right there. Usually when you're looking at something like this is kind of what you're looking for. You're wanting to see we bounce out of the pattern that we're seeing, the descending wedge that we formed. We want to bounce off it almost like a support spring and then continue to make that higher high number, which we are definitely doing right now. And again, if you had bought, to those people who continue to buy the dip, which, that's what it's all about, you're up 20% right now. And I know it's tough for individuals for sometimes to continue to buy, and I get you and I understand the mindset and I get where you're coming from. What's hilarious about it though is there's someone coming in brand new to the ecosystem that has not been here this entire time, and they're just going to come in and buy. They're going to come in and make a killing, right? They're going to come in and buy over here on some of these prices during any of these levels and say, I heard about Pulse X today. I'm buying, I'm coming in with $5,000. I don't know if it's going to do much. And then their downside potential or risk is super freaking low. Like their downside risk is like maybe a 16, 17, 20% dip. Whereas other people who have been investing in the market are down, we'll say 60, 70, 80%, right? So these people who are coming in on the downside risk of a 20% chance, but the upside potential of a 5x pump in the span of the next, I don't know, 60 to 90 days, I would say, right? Which would put us back basically to around the SAC price levels, which may end up being, we'll say, 180 days. So don't quote me on the time frame. I do anticipate that we are going to go there, but now that we are pumping, things I'm paying attention to are this level right here. So this is where I would say we want to really find and break through this level of resistance, bounce off it as support, and continue to rally higher and higher, just like you see right here, where you get a little bounce. That is a beautiful bounce, in my opinion, at this point in time when I'm looking at these particular charts. So keeping all that in mind, we're doing pretty damn good, in my personal opinion, right now, right? This is that little breath of relief that I know a lot of people have been kind of waiting for, or hoping for, praying for, whatever the case may be, whatever the situation is, right? It's that little final, like, man, I've been waiting at this point in time. We broke out of the 20-day moving average channel on Hex, breaking back damn near above the 1 penny threshold. So it's currently sitting at 2099 right now. And by the way, I just got done watching the whole Brooklyn 99 series. So when I see 99 now, that's all I think about. That's a fucking hilarious show. If y'all haven't checked out Brooklyn 99, I'm curious as your thoughts on what it is, but damn, so freaking funny, man. And then of course my other favorites are anime right now. Watching that Black Clover right now over on Netflix. But anyways, neither here nor there. Getting completely distracted. We are bouncing within a range that has been known to be a support resistance level on multiple times. Right, this gray box right here. We've been in this zone for quite some time. Ideally, if we do end up getting that breakout like we're seeing right now, not only would we break and hold this ascending trend right now. Sorry, I got distracted with the pups playing. I don't know if y'all can see him. One of the dogs is black, so she's a little bit tougher to see, but she's so cute. They're just playing right now. All right, anyways, I digress. I digress. But this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing where we can bounce up here, bounce off of this trend line, go into the next zone, bounce off of this resistance support area that we've been seeing, and bounce into the whole next wave. If you're looking in terms of the Elliott wave, it would look very similar to something like this, where we actually get a little bit of a breakout right here. We come back, we bounce off this level, we come up here, we then test this level, we bounce off again and come all the way back up into the 1.4 cent penny range at this point in time. Things I am paying attention to, just to keep that in mind. Now, once again, folks, we can definitely play all within this zone and still be within the wedge that we've actually drawn out over here. So just keep that in mind. These are where I'm seeing levels to be at this point. So that's the Hex over on Pulse Chain chart right here. So again, breath of relief, breath of life, right? That's that start of where you can start seeing things go right now. Again, we've been waiting for the rallies to really start happening. We keep the rallies going. We've seen 57% increases in a day before. So far, I believe at this point in time, we're only sitting at a roughly around 28% right now in a day, which, don't get me wrong, I say only, but you really want to keep that rally going like we've already seen. We are still well within reason on this one. We are not into an overbought territory right now. We just flipped on the bullish on the stochastic RSI. We can hold this level for a few days and keep that rally going upwards, higher and higher and higher. So get the news out. If you haven't already, continue a DCA strategy. If you don't have that set already, make sure that you put the 5P set up of proper preparation, preventing poor performance. And I absolutely love it. Real quick, I do want to give a quick shout out to all of the channel's support as well. So let me go ahead and draw that up real quick. I want to take a minute and thank all of our Patreon members over on patreon.com. Also want to thank all the badge members for YouTube memberships and all of the subscribers. This would all not be possible without your support. Thank you so much. Much love, much love, much love. All right, we got Incentive Token doing a similar thing, breaking out of its current trend line right now, or at least wanting to begin to break out of its current trend line. Looking at the 15-minute chart as well, you can see we just broke out of this. It's not like it's been holding it for too long. But even once again, in the last few hours, you can see a nice 17% increase in the last 18 hours. Going back a little bit further, many people were able to actually buy this at $2.50 or $2.70, my apology. And that's a nice little 26% increase in the last day. So congrats to those of y'all who still continue to buy, especially when there is blood in the streets. That is the perfect opportunity to take advantage of the market. That allows you to capture more tokens. For those of y'all who got greedy, wanting prices to go lower and lower and lower, this is why we teach the 5P strategy, because you can say, this is the first level. This is something I had drawn out already, saying we're probably going to go back and retest this $2.75 level, y'all. Well, guess what? It went back down, retested it, and then bounced off it. So this, if you were to be buying, would have been one of your entry points right here, whereas you can have additional entry points down below. Make sure you invest your own strategy and your own investment thesis at the end of the day. But you can see we did not hold this level of support, or should I say, we bounced off it as a level of resistance, which typically means the market wants to go down and find its next level. Ideally, now we're starting to get those higher highs, higher lows play out. So once again, higher lows, we can continue to see higher lows. You can continue to see higher highs starting to get made as well. Good stuff is starting to form, folks. Now the next levels to be paying attention to on ink would be the $3.47 level. If I'm seeing where we're going to probably be meeting some resistance come next at this point in time. So if it does want to actually go up here, bounce up here in this range, we would bounce off this trend line as a support, bounce up here into the $4 region again. If we continue the momentum like we have been, it would be a beautiful, beautiful thing. Again, just a few days ago, it was $2.43. And for those people who did buy that, you got a nice little 40% increase in a week. Which is why I don't really want to mess with something like Bitcoin, for example, right? I've talked about this before. Even if Bitcoin goes off and reaches the $250,000 mark or something like that, the $240,000 mark, which is kind of what we estimate on the channel to actually be the Bitcoin all-time high. Let me just kind of pull this up. BTC, I'll even just do RH call, just to keep it simple. So 241, 500. Whoa, that'd be cool. $2.1 million Bitcoin. I'm not even going to bother with that, but let me see if I can make this a little bit better. 241. Close enough. So I know it's not the exact right there. I'm just drawing something out. But even with this pump right here on Bitcoin, that's only potentially a 3x, 4x, somewhere in that range buying Bitcoin right now. Which again, I'm not going to say is not, it's really good in all reality, right? You 4x, 3x your money faster than you can do in any other asset class out there. So you can't do that in real estate. You can't just 3x, 4x your money in a year typically, or 4 years, 5 years even in some cases. You definitely aren't doing that in the stock market unless you're doing other stuff like puts, calls, and options. And that is bringing on heavy risk where you can definitely lose a lot more than you end up making most of the time. So keeping that in mind is just something that I am paying attention to. I do see a potential of even just possibly getting a 4x on this chart right here. And this is just the ink token, right? So even if you were to be buying at this $2 level and it gets back up to this $10 level, which we've already seen it hit already just last March, as a matter of fact. So it wasn't that long ago, as you know, I guess not last month, 2 months ago now, being that we're in May right now. I can see this 4x happening, and we've seen this play out so many times where this could happen in something like 11 days, boys and girls. And I'm not saying we're going to rally like this time. We are seeing that little W formation form, which is very bullish typically. And could it just go back up here very quickly? Like, absolutely. That is one of the crazy things that happen in crypto, where we've already seen it do times of a 4x pump in the span of less than, we've already seen it do these pumps multiple times in the span of, we'll say, 14 days right here for this pump right here, which is roughly around 3.6x within 14 days. So you can do that with Bitcoin, or you can take a little bit more risk. Now, obviously, there's more reward to be had as well by getting in something like Pulse Chain, Hex, Incentive Token, PulseX, all of the RH tokens, and heck, any of the altcoins as well. Because it does seem, at this point in time, things are looking a little bit more bullish overall on the actual market. If I pull up the crypto heat map over the last day, and you can kind of see really the last day, things have kind of been a little bit sitting still right now. Let me check out. I know last week has been pretty good for crypto. So again, that's just a nice little green chart overall, when you're actually taking a whole little gander at all of the crypto that are out there. Neither here nor there. Let me say hello to some more beautiful peeps who have been in the chat. Let me say hello, see what's up, say what questions y'all got as well. Probably keep this one a little bit short today. Yeah. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything from the Wi-Fi. Cool. And I do want to start making some like AI stuff as well. I don't know if I should just do a separate channel. Let me know if it's something that y'all would be interested in. I know I do share some AI stuff occasionally throughout the streams, but let me know if it's something that y'all would enjoy, if it's something that I may just need to make a new channel on and start over again and just go from there. We'll see. Jason Smith says, "What's up, Logic33? Yo. What's up? What's up, Marcus? How you doing? Some good buy of Pulse today on Dex Screener, filter above 10K. Nice, dude. Let me go check it out. So, going to Pulse Chain real fast, but bringing it back over here. You can actually come on into this little filter section down below. Do a little search of above 10K and see what went down. So these are buys and sells. We can actually filter as well if you just want to see some buy options instead of the sell options. People are coming in, a couple of $100,000 purchases. Very nice over here from one wallet in particular. Um, Very nice. Not gonna lie on that one. That's pretty damn freaking awesome, right? You got two purchases of $100,000 a piece. Congrats to this individual. That's part of that pump that you're going to be seeing. People have been waiting for the green candles, man. They don't like buying red. We've talked about this in the past. They want to buy when things are pumping, man. They want that either FOMO. They want to just know that when they buy that the prices are actually going up, right? And even if it's taking a risk buying a little bit less tokens than you could right now, people love buying those green candles. So nice little purchases today. You got 100,000, 11,000 right here. 11,000, 34,000 by this wallet in particular. He's got a $34,000 purchase and a $51,000 purchase. So pretty damn good. 29, 23, 15, 15 again from the same wallet over here. So we got damn near a $30,000 purchase from this particular wallet. Congrats to this individual. Looks like so far they bought roughly around a 500. Whoa! I didn't mean to actually click that. Looks like they bought roughly around 500. Ooh, yeah, I love it. Whenever you just see the buy options. Now again, it's because I only had the buys turned on, but look how many buys they're doing, man. That is exactly what you want to be seeing. You want to be buying the dip. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, buying the dip, buying the dip. Beautiful chart right there overall. What else we got? Let me see this particular whale over here again. See what else they got going on right now. Looks like they just really started coming in a little bit heavy as of middle of April, right? They bought 100,000 here. They bought another 100,000. Bought another 100,000. Coming in with big purchases. It looks like I don't know if they've done. They've only done $100,000 purchases. Oh, that's dope, man. Congrats to this particular fucking player. Like, that's freaking awesome, dude. Getting 2.5, 1.3. We can probably turn on buy and sells real fast and see. I'm sure they probably sold some as well. To be expected, right? They did sell some here, but you got to understand they've been buying since September, right? Which is back when the lows were all the way back over here, 4 zeros and a 3. Congrats to this particular player right here. That's how you can get a nice little this particular individual got a 4x their money in that one, right? So they bought it right here, got 4x the money. You should in fact take profits. It does look like this person did something I personally wouldn't do, which is go with the whole stack play where they actually say, I bought this whole stack here, I'm gonna sell the whole stack here, right? And so that's a play that I usually don't do. If this player continues to do something like this, well, we can anticipate them selling back above, and it's a nice little 2x or 4x up here. So if they are going to continue the same trend, they're probably going to be selling over here, which is, hey, dude, congrats to this particular individual. Eventually, if we do end up continuing that buy sell ratio, one day the prices just leave you. They leave you behind. You get left in the dust. So just be careful playing that game if it's something that you're thinking about doing yourself. Yeah. Anyways, congrats to those players overall. I mean, good stuff. Yeah. What's up? Hey fam, how you doing, my friend? Logic33 saying hello to everybody. Hey fam saying hello to everybody. Lee in the house. Are y'all playing? Get her, Echo. Get him, Echo. All right. Anyways. What's up, y'all? What's up? Weekly dojis are all over the place. Let's see if they hold or blast and create and create market structure. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm waiting. My pullout game is on point, lol. Too funny. Too funny, man. Steak, dude, all day. 55 for sure. X-Men 97. There you go. Terry likes yogurt. You get it. You get it. Keep the rally going, boys, for sure. Thanks for your TA, more hex. Thank you for your support. Anybody want to convince me to hodl my 9mm airdrop? Already sold half. Should I hold the other half, dude? I don't mess with any of that. If you got profits, sell it. If you thinking it can do something better, then keep on waiting. But usually, if you get some airdrops and they're in profit, good rule of thumb is to just end up taking some profit because majority of people are in fact going to sell. So keep that in mind. How long do you expect us to be trading sideways for? I'm trying to pack the bags. Well, I think we still have roughly about another 3 months before we really start taking off. So within that 3 month range, I expect us to be within a range of anywhere between here and a 3x, which I still think is well within reason, especially if you're looking at 100x, 200x, or 250x in the future. You still can capture a nice little 33x, 50x, 75x, which is absolutely incredible. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And that's what I'm planning for. But anyways, guys, this is going to be a shorter stream today. I wanted to hop in, do some TA, talk about the breadth of life happening right now, and I'll be checking y'all in tomorrow's TGI Friday or TGI Fashions Friday system. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. I want to take a minute and thank all of our Patreon members over on patreon.com. Also want to thank all the badge members for YouTube memberships and all of the subscribers.